Coming up on BCN today, at least 5 people are confirmed dead after a volcano erupted in New Zealand as tourists were visiting the area. Others have been injured and some are still missing. RCMP are searching for a 29-year-old man accused of attempted murder after a shooting on the Blood Reserve over the weekend. And one of the world's greatest evangelists and Christ for All Nations founder, Reinhardt Bonnke, has died at the age of 79.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Arthur, sitting in for Jeanette. There was a shooting this weekend on the Blood Tribe Reserve just outside of Lethbridge. Police responded to a call from EMS services at around 2:30 a.m. Saturday morning that a 41-year-old man had been shot. He was airlifted to Calgary with life-threatening injuries. The RCMP Major Crimes Unit is asking for public assistance, requesting information on the whereabouts of 29-year-old Kyle Lewis Crowchief, who is facing charges of attempted murder. Crowchief is 6 feet tall, weighs 150 pounds, and was last known to be driving a 2018 black Jeep Compass. If you see the suspect, please do not confront him. Simply call police or Crime Stoppers. Lethbridge police were also kept busy. Friday morning around 8:30, they were called to Galt Gardens where a 37-year-old man was seriously injured after being attacked. He remains in hospital. One suspect has been arrested, and police are asking anyone with information on this assault to contact them. According to Maclean's magazine's annual report on Canada's most dangerous places, Lethbridge ranked 15th overall for common assaults and reported break-and-enters. We asked downtown shoppers how safe they feel with the recent increase in crime and what needs to happen to make our city a safer place.
I definitely feel safe shopping here downtown, but when I come here at night, more for local music scenes, I check to make sure my doors are locked every time.
I don't feel uncomfortable being downtown. I mean, I know there's friends and family that are.
I shop downtown quite frequently and have never uncovered any issues.
Walking down the streets, I feel safe personally, and then when I'm with my friends, it's all good. But I mean, I could definitely see if you were a lady or a older person or a younger person, a kid, for instance, I wouldn't feel safe walking downtown.
Still pretty skeptic now. Just with the violence coming more and more, it's just been crazy. I know they try to do good stuff with the injection sites, try to help out, and it probably was a good idea at first, but you know what, it's getting worse and worse. You know what, it's time to shut it down and have people take responsibility for stuff.
I think just more sense of community, having people come and enjoy downtown again and feeling that sense of safety and reassurance that, you know, you're gonna come and be able to enjoy downtown as much as possible.
We need to have some more police out and about patrolling.
I feel like more awareness and more programs to help take care of that violence and help those people causing the violence.
There's too many police officers that I feel don't respond to enough calls and that rely heavily on the watch to do the job that they should be doing.
I think maybe visible police and or security is something that would help people feel safe. I honestly don't think it's unsafe, but that might make people feel more safe. I think people just talking and actually coming down and then experiencing it and telling other people might help just as much. Something that's been happening for us in the last little while, actually.
Stats Canada has some good economic news for Southern Alberta. The unemployment rate for the Lethbridge-Medicine Hat region dropped to 4.9% in November, which is a significant improvement from the October rate of 6.4%. However, the overall Alberta unemployment rate jumped a half percentage point up to 7.2% with the loss of 18,000 jobs. Nationally, the Canadian economy shed over 71,000 jobs in November, with unemployment at 5.9%. Pipelines will be at the top of the agenda when Alberta Premier Jason Kenney and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau meet today and tomorrow in Ottawa. Kenney is bringing 8 cabinet ministers and several senior officials with him. He also plans to discuss equalization payments and push his position that Alberta is not getting a fair deal.
The message I will be carrying on behalf of Albertans to Ottawa next week is that we need to see action. And we are not seeking a special deal. We're seeking a fair deal. We contributed $600 billion to the rest of the country over the past decades net, and we contribute around $20 billion a year, more to Ottawa than Albertans receive back in benefits or services. And if Ottawa and the rest of the country wants to continue to benefit from Alberta as the goose that's laid the golden egg in modern Canadian economic history, then Ottawa needs to unleash us to be able to develop our resources, get to global markets, get a fair price from them, and not tie us down with an endless number of new laws and regulations that inhibit our responsible resource sector.
Days after the BC government reminded party bus operators of strict new fines for the holidays, Vancouver police have handed a company $27,000 in fines for transporting minors with alcohol. Officers stopped a party bus on Friday night that was found to be carrying 18 minors without adult chaperones while alcohol was on board, and the company is now on the hook for fines amounting to $1,500 per passenger. VPD Traffic Officer March Christensen says the investigation is ongoing and the fines could rise as high as $50,000. Which is the maximum fine under the new provincial regulations that came into effect in September. A hockey player paralyzed in the Humboldt Broncos bus crash says he's feeling good after returning home after 5 weeks in Thailand, where he received spinal surgery. Ryan Stresnitsky had an epidural stimulator implanted in his spine, which has allowed him to straighten his leg and walk with assistance using a wheeled machine. He hopes Health Canada will allow the procedure to be done here at home. The family paid up to $100,000 out of their own funds to have the surgery.
Feel good to be home?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I felt that cold wind hit my legs, so I'm feeling good. Feeling good to be back. So the first time I moved my legs was pretty incredible. I didn't necessarily feel it, but they set the right program for a certain muscle to move, and it was crazy. I mean, at the first few weeks, the muscles were pretty weak, but over time, through lots of physio, they got really strong. It's a weird technique. They kind of said you had to breathe with the motion, and it took a while to get down, but they set all the programs, and I'm ready to go. I think just getting that feeling back of being able to move something that I wasn't able to move before, and I know core is a huge part of my my disability, so anything below my chest is crucial, and after the programming it really helped. I think I'm going to take probably a few days off just to rest and recover, and then it's right back to the ice and physio.
What does this mean for sledge hockey?
Hopefully it gives me that little bit of an advantage and get that core back. So like I said, it's just practice with sledge, and I think having this program will really help.
And rehabbing too, I'm sure you've got a routine that you probably have to follow.
Yeah, they set me a schedule for 5 days a week, about 5 hours of physio and exercise a day. So it's going to be vigorous and exhausting, but I'm willing to do it.
It's not clear if there are any Canadians among the dead and missing after a volcanic island in New Zealand erupted today. Dozens of tourists, including many from a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, were exploring the moon-like surface of White Island at the time. At least 5 people are confirmed dead, and police say both New Zealanders and overseas tourists were among those who were dead, missing, or injured. Most of the 18 survivors were injured, and some have severe burns.
No. It's like a throat clearing kind of eruption, and that's why material probably won't have made it to mainland New Zealand, or won't make it to mainland New Zealand. On the scheme of things, for volcanic eruptions, it's not large, but if you are close to that, it is not good.
Firstly, we initially believed that there were 100 people on or near the island. We now know that there is fewer than 50. Some of these people have been transported to shore. However, there is a number still remaining on the island who are currently unaccounted for. I can confirm there is 1 fatality, and based on information we have, there's likely to be more. A number of injured people have been transported to Whakatane Hospital and Mirawa Hospital.
The lead investigator for the FBI in Friday's deadly Florida naval base shooting says they are treating it as an act of terrorism. However, Rachel Rojas declined to speak to reports that other Saudi nationals had filmed the incident.
Last night, we confirmed that the shooter has been identified as a 21-year-old second lieutenant in the Royal Saudi Air Force who was a student, naval flight officer at Naval Aviation School's command. Our main goal right now is to confirm whether he acted alone or was he a part of a larger network. We currently assess there was 1 gunman who perpetrated this attack, and no arrests have been made in this case. There have been many reports that the FBI is searching for or unable to find certain individuals. I can report that the FBI is working side by side with the U.S. Navy, and they have confirmed to us that they have 100% accountability on all international students from NAS Pensacola.
Officials say 21-year-old Mohammed al-Shamrani apparently went on Twitter shortly before the shooting and criticized U.S. support for Israel and accused America of funding crimes against Muslims. Well-known evangelist and Christ for All Nations founder Reinhardt Bonnke has died at the age of 79. He preached around the world, but his focus was in Africa after experiencing dreams of Africa and hearing the phrase, "Africa shall be saved," and that is where he held some of the world's largest outdoor meetings with as many as 1.6 million in attendance at a single event. More than 79 million people made Christ their Lord as a result of his ministry. Bonnke is survived by his wife, Ani, 3 adult children, and 8 grandchildren. Fire officials in India say they've finally been able to douse a smoldering fire in a New Delhi building a day after the blaze killed at least 43 people. It's believed an electrical short circuit caused the massive fire that tore through the 4-story building housing illegal factories. Firefighters had to battle the flames from 100 meters away because the fire was in an alleyway too narrow for vehicles to access. Authorities have detained the owner of the building as they continue the investigation. Well, we had the shovels out again over the weekend, and we may get a bit more snow yet. Full weather details are coming up right after the break. Mainly cloudy today with a 60% chance of flurries, along with a west wind gusting from 20 to 40 and a high of -2. For tonight, mainly cloudy skies and a low of -7. And for tomorrow, mainly cloudy, we should get up to -2. And looking ahead for the next 5 days, for Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud and a 60% chance of flurries, a high of 0. And it'll warm up some on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud and +6 degrees. That mix of sun and cloud should stay with us for most of the week. Friday, we should get up to +3. And on Saturday, a high of -2. And also on Sunday, we should get up to a high of -2 as well. And taking a look at the almanac, the average high for this time of year is +1 with an average low of -11. The highest temperature in the state was recorded in 1957 at a very pleasant 14 degrees. Our record low, though, a very brisk -37 in 1977. Sunrise was at 8:16 and sunset at 4:31 as our days continue to shorten. And let's take a look at what's shaping up weather-wise across the country now, with Victoria getting up to 8 degrees today with a mix of sun and cloud. Much the same in Vancouver, 8 degrees and partly cloudy. A 60% chance of flurries in Calgary and -1 today. Also a good chance of flurries up in Edmonton. They should get up to -6. And things are cooler in Saskatchewan. Regina getting up to -11 with some snow activity. In Saskatoon, again, very similar, -11 with some snow flurries. And a chilly -18 for Winnipeg with a 60% chance of the white stuff coming down. Much warmer in Toronto, but it'll be wet there. Some rain and 8 degrees. For Ottawa, some showers are likely, getting up to +3. And Montreal, again, a chance of showers and a high of +3 as well. And moving over to the Maritimes, 5 degrees and some rain for Fredericton, New Brunswick, and a chance of showers getting up to +8 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And in Charlottetown, we should see a high of +5, again with a significant chance of showers. For St. John's, Newfoundland, we can expect a high near +3 and a 60% chance of showers. Now let's take a look at what's happening in and around your community with our community calendar.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. An annual City Hall tradition continues with the Sounds of the Season concert series. Enjoy your favorite holiday classics performed by various local choirs and bands during the weeks leading up to Christmas. For more information and performance times, visit lethbridge.ca. The YWCA Lethbridge and District's annual Stockings of Hope campaign is underway until Monday, December 16th. Residents and businesses can stop by the YWCA to adopt a stocking and fulfill a Christmas wish by purchasing some or all of the gifts on the list, then return the gifts unwrapped to the YWCA by December 16th. For more information about this worthy cause, call 403-329-0088. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Well, it's only a couple of weeks until Christmas, and for those of you who like to make your own decorations, you'll love crayon drip ornaments. Here's a look at today's life hack. Our world can always use a few more great ideas. This next segment features some very cool solutions on everything from how to keep hens from pecking your hands while gathering eggs, to a quick way to smooth out fresh concrete, if you have a good sense of balance, that is. Yes, smart people have it all figured out. And why didn't I think of that? Pretty amazing stuff. Well, speaking of quirky things, a Winnipeg business known for its quirky combination of a laundromat, fried chicken restaurant, and car wash is up for sale, with the owner blaming a 3-year-long roadway construction project for a drop in customers. Bunty's Chester Fried Chicken owner Jonas Zawudi, who also owns another Chester Fried Chicken franchise, says he's downsizing to focus on one location. And that spot also houses a fast food restaurant, car wash, laundromat, and convenience store. Zawudi said he often hears about how the 4-in-1 model allows customers to do all their errands at once. In keeping with Chinese tradition, twin giant panda cubs born at the Berlin Zoo were given their names today, 100 days after they were born. The names Meng Zhang and Meng Wan translate to desired dream and fulfilled dream. Both cubs are male. Zookeepers initially hand-fed the cubs with bottles of their mother's milk, but they now feed on their own. A police officer completed 949 burpees. Yes, in 1 hour during a special record-breaking attempt on the weekend to raise funds for Autism Edmonton. Constable Stephen Schaefer came up 50 burpees short of his original 1,000 burpee goal, but still beat the Guinness World Record for men of 870 burpees, as well as the record for women, which is 920. Schaefer's 9-year-old son, Jason, lives with autism and did a few burpees alongside his dad during the attempt. The record will now wait to be verified by Guinness World Record officials. Wow, that's a lot of burpees. The man who gave voice to two of the most popular characters on the children's TV series Sesame Street has died. Caroll Spinney died yesterday at his home in Connecticut at age 85. Spinney voiced and operated both Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch from the time they were created in 1969 and continued to do them almost exclusively until his 80s. Spinney said before joining Sesame Street he didn't feel like what he was doing in life was important, but he said Big Bird helped him find his purpose. Some of his fellow puppeteers paid tribute to Spinney at the Kennedy Center this weekend.
Caroll was an incredible person. Not only was he a coworker of mine, but he was an inspiration to me as a child and a friend. And we're still reeling a little bit, and I think the world's really gonna miss what he brought to it. So we're just thankful, and he's here tonight. He's here tonight.
Caroll Spinney was a big inspiration in my life. I've known Caroll for over 30 years, and he's just a genius, sweet man, and so funny and talented. And I'm gonna miss him a lot. Yeah.
Yes, I called Caroll and Debbie because it's a beautiful love story about Caroll Spinney and his wife Debbie Spinney were like my fairy godparents. He is proof that kindness is a superpower. Like David said, he's a creative genius in that how he can bring a character to life with his heart and spread joy with it, and he's an inspiration to all of us, and we are honoring him, and we're keeping his light in our hearts, and we're going to miss him very much.
Vehicle insurance rates in Alberta have been skyrocketing. Question is it because of higher accident claim payouts, or is it insurance companies wanting higher profits? We talk with Mark Feehan, a spokesperson with Fair Alberta, right after the break.